Hello everyone. Today we will be doing relations of class 12. That's the first chapter. It is relation and functions. We'll be doing the first part. So by relation we mean that it is a subset of A cross B where both A and B are non-empty sets. Okay. So suppose if I take the set A as 1, 2, 3 and set B as say 4, 5. Then we find that A cross B is 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 4, 2, 5 and 3, 4, 3, 5. So since we have 3 elements in A and 2 elements in B, we will have in A cross B 3 into 2, that is 6 elements. You can see here there are 6 elements, or you can say it is n of A into n of B, that is n of A cross B. So number of elements in A cross B will be equal to number of elements in A into the number of elements in B. Now we said that we want the subsets of this set. So how many subsets do we get? We know that number of subsets of any set is equal to 2 raised to the number of elements. Now here the number of elements are. So if we take this particular example, here we will get 2 raised to 6 or 64 subsets. So we'll get various type of subsets. The first one will be null set, then the other ones will be singleton, then we'll write 2 elements and finally we'll go to A cross B and we'll get 64 of which the first one, as we said, will be null set. Now because the subset of A cross B is a relation, this is known as null relation, or you can say it is empty relation. In this relation we don't have any elements. Then we may have singleton set like 1, 4. So by this we mean that 1 is related to 4. So we'll write this same relation in different forms. Let us take up a few examples, a subset of this one only. So the first relation we will write, say R1. As we took, we will take 1, 4. So this is one way of writing it. Another way we can write is 1 related to 4. Or if you draw a diagram, we will write the elements of A in here and we will write the elements of B in the other set. This is known as the arrow diagram, where I will show that 1 is related to 4. Okay, this is the first relation that we have written. In the same way, you will get so many examples. Let us take one more example, say R2, and I will take 1, 4, 1, 5 and say 2, 5. Okay, this is one more subset of A cross B, so it is also a relation. So this can be written as 1 related to 4, 1 related to 5 and 2 related to 5. And we can write or draw the arrow diagram as writing A in the first set, elements of B in the second, and mark an arrow for those which are related. 1 related to 4, 1 related to 5 and 2 related to 5. Okay. So in this one, these elements are related. Now if you want to find the domain of this relation, the first elements are the domain. So the domain of R in this case, since we have written R2, we can write domain of R2 is 1, 2. Which elements are related? 1 and 2. Range of R2. Which elements are this related to? 4 and 5. Set B is called the codomain. And those elements which are related from the first set are called domain elements and from the second set are called range elements. So in general we can write this, that the domain of a relation is the first element x such that x, y belongs to R. That means if 3, 4 and 2 comma 4 is the relation that we take up, then 2 comma 3 is the domain, the first element, and the range of the relation is the second element. So we write y such that x comma y belongs to R. And codomain will always be the whole second set. This is what we mean by relation. And as we said, there is one more relation, the last one which we will write always is A cross B. And this is because it is the whole set. It is known as universal, the largest one, universal relation. And if we wanted this one of the relation, let us take up say R as 1 comma 5 and 2 comma 4. Then the domain is 1 2, the range is 5 4. And if you want to find the inverse of this relation, then we just have to flip the elements of the domain and the codomain, or the entries here. Like 1 5 is the first order pair, we will write it as 5 1 and 4 2. So now this will become the domain. The domain will come from this set, and this will become the codomain. All the values, like if you draw this as a Venn diagram now, you will be drawing like this. So my R was 1 5 and 2 4, and R inverse was 5 1 and 4 2. So for this, the Venn diagram will have 1 2 3 here, the set A, and 4 5 here. So this is 1 goes to 5 and 2 goes to 4. And for the other one, B set will come first, 4 5, and set A we will write afterwards, 1 2 3. 5 is related to 1 and 4 is related to 2. Okay, over here the domain is 1 2, the range is 4 5. Over here the domain is 4 5 and the range is 1 2. So finding R inverse is very simple. Just flip the entries, that will give you the R inverse entries. Okay. So this is about the basics of relation, like what is a relation and what are the different types of relation. We saw that we have empty relation, then we have universal relation, and then how to find the inverse of the relation. Now we'll go further to this. Now let us take up set A as say 1 2 3. Now instead of defining on A cross B, we will define relation on A. By relation on A, I mean subsets of A cross A. Earlier we took A cross B, now we'll take the same set. So in this, if I take up the relation R1 as 1 1, 2 2 and 3 3. See, remember, besides this, we'll get lot of other relations like 1 2, 1 3. These elements will also come, but we are taking which ones? Only the same element, like 1 1 2 2 3 3. Then this is known as identity relation. Now what we have in class 12th chapter is about the various types of relation, like reflexive relation, symmetric relation and transitive relation. So we take that. For that, I will first write the whole set A cross A and let us find out different subsets of that to see which ones are satisfying the condition. So this is A cross A, I have written here. Now let us take, first let us see what is the reflexive relation. Reflexive relation means that relation in which if any element belongs to A, then A comma A should belong to the relation. मतलब इतना तो होना ही चाहिए. Besides this, अगर दूसरा कुछ भी होगा like 1 1 2 2 3 3 है, fine. Besides it 1 2 1 3 1 4, that also should be there. Or if it is there, doesn't matter. The main thing is 1 1 should be there if 1 is there, 2 2 should be there if 2 is there, and 3 3 should be there if 3 is there. Besides this, और भी entries होगी तो fine, it's okay. But इतना compulsory है. 1 1 2 2 and 3 3 is a must. Okay, so I can write the relation as 1 1 2 2 3 3. Okay, this is one. This is identity relation. ये तो reflexive है क्योंकि 1 यहाँ पे है, then 1 1 is there, 2 है, 2 2 is there, 3 is there, 3 3 is there. Now इसकी जगह पे if I write this one, but this entry is तो must 2 2 3 3, and besides this I write say 1 2 फिर और 2 3 5. Okay, and पूरा A cross A will always be reflexive. The universal set is reflexive. Okay, so this is reflexive that if कोई number यहाँ पे है तो उसका ordered pair same one should be there in R. Like if it was 1 2 3 4 तो 4 4 भी होना चाहिए था. All nothing, not a single one should be missing. Then it is reflexive. If I write R3 as 1 1 and 2 2. Okay, then this is not reflexive. ये नहीं चाहिए. Because 3 3 is missing. All the 3 should be there. यहाँ पे 3 element है तो यहाँ पे 1 1 2 2 3 3 होना ही चाहिए. And besides that, whatever you have is fine. This is the minimum criteria. Okay, now we will see the next one. That is symmetry. Okay, so symmetric relation means that अगर कोई entry say AB is in R, then BA should also belong to R. मतलब 1 2 है तो 2 1 भी होना ही चाहिए like that. So let's take example. Suppose if I have R1 as 1 2, then necessarily 2 1 is there. 1 1 fine. This is symmetric. It is not reflexive. क्यों? कि 2 2 3 3 नहीं है इसलिए. Then R2 1 3 2 3 3 2 3 1. Let's check. 1 3 है तो 3 1 है. 2 3 है तो 3 2 है. Yes, this is symmetric. Okay. And fine. If I write one more in this one, say I write 3 3. Okay. Then also it is symmetric. But if I write 2 1. Okay. If I write 2 1, then this is not symmetric because 2 1 का उल्टा क्या होगा? 1 2 जो है ही नहीं यहाँ पे R2 में. So that doesn't help. Not symmetric. Symmetric में एक ही condition है. अगर AB है तो BA होना चाहिए बस. अगर नहीं है तो I don't mind. यहाँ पे नहीं था 2 3 तो I don't want 3 2. 2 3 होता तो 3 2 भी चाहिए. ऐसे हमेशा pairs में आना चाहिए. 1 2 है तो 2 1. 2 3 है तो 3 2 like that. Okay, that is symmetric. Now we go to the next one. That is transitive relation. So now we will go to the transitive relation, which is A comma B and B comma C belongs to R, then A comma C belongs to R. So for example, if we take from here one relation which is 1 comma 2 and another is 2 comma 1, then we need 1 comma 1 to be belonging to this relation, because if 1 2 and 2 1 both are belonging to R, since these entries are same, then we should have 1 1 belonging to R. But these entries can also be written like 2 1 and 1 2, and these both are same, so we should also have 2 2 in the relation R. So you have to check both the ways. If it ends with whichever number and begins with the same, then the resultant A C should be there. So if I write 2 1 and 1 2, then 2 2 should be there. Okay, so this becomes transitive. Now let's take another example. In case if I take R2, which is like say 1 2 2 3, then obviously because this is same, we should have 1 3. Besides this, if you have any other entries which does not come into this form, then it's fine, like 1 1. 1 1 is like 1 1 and 1 2 if I write, then I will have 1 2. Because these both are same, I should have 1 2, which will be in R. So whenever you have a reflexive kind, that is identical one, if 1 1 2 2 3 3, then we need not check for that. We have to check only for those entries where it is ending with a number and beginning with something else, with the same number, and here you have some other number. Like you shouldn't have 2 2. If it is 2 2, it is obviously going to become transitive. So we'll check only for those where you have the same entry here and these are like not identical, like 2 2 is not there, 1 1 is not there, then we will check. And it should be checked for all possibilities, like 1 2 2 1, I checked both the ways, 2 1 1 2 also, and we got it to be transitive. So transitive relation is a relation where you have both these entries, then you want AC to be in the relation. Suppose you have only suppose if we have only 1, 2, then it automatically becomes transitive because you don't have any entry which is beginning from 2. So AB and BC both are there, then we want AC. If only 1, 2 is there, fine, it is transitive. Okay, because there is nothing beginning with 2. If something is, some element is beginning with 2, then we want the resultant, otherwise not. Okay, so this is transitive. All of them I have written transitive. Let's write one more. Let us see if it is transitive or not. 1, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2. Is this transitive? Let's see. See, it is 1, 3 and 3, 2. So I should have 1, 2. But there is no 1, 2 in this relation, so it is not transitive. Okay, this one is not transitive. So these are the 3 different type of relations which we saw. First one was reflexive, then symmetric and transitive. A relation which is all of this, that is, it is reflexive, it is symmetric, and it is transitive, all 3. Then that relation is said to be equivalence relation. It is not a must be a relation has all the 3 types together, but that relation which has all 3 together is said to be an equivalence relation. So we studied the 3 forms, that is transitive, symmetric and reflexive. If a relation has all the 3 types, then it satisfies all the 3 conditions and it is said to be equivalence relation. Besides this, there is one more kind of relation, that is antisymmetric relation. Antisymmetric. This is not mentioned in the NCERT book, but this is one of the relations which is important for the competitive examination, so we'll consider this. Antisymmetric relation is that if AB and B both belongs to R, then A is equal to B. If both the entries are there, the flipped one is also there, like 1, 2 is there and 2, 1 is there, then, but in that case 1 will not be equal to 2, so that's not an example. Antisymmetric relation is that if AB and BA belongs to R, then A is equal to B. Okay, let's see, take an example. Like suppose if I take the relation less than or equal to on real numbers. And let's consider this, that A is less than or equal to B and B less than or equal to A is given to me. So this, when is this possible for real numbers? That a number is smaller than the other and the other number is smaller than or equal to the first one. So it's possible only when A is equal to B. So less than or equal to on real numbers is an antisymmetric relation. Now since we considered this, let us think, is it reflexive? Is it reflexive? So in reflexive, what we do is we need a relation in which we have A less than or equal to A. The same entries. Okay, my relation is this. That let's write it down properly. The relation R is A comma B such that A less than or equal to B. This is the relation. Now for reflexive, what we need to do is put this as A and think, is it mathematically true? So I'll put B as A less than or equal to A, and yes, it's true, equal to A, less than A, but we said less than or equal to, so A equal to A. So it is reflexive. Let us check symmetric, which we studied. In symmetric, you are already given कि ये element है, relation R में एक element है, A comma B belongs to R. So I'll write this down. Therefore, this is given. अब हमें सोचना है कि is B less than or equal to A or not. So is it true that if A is less than or equal to B, then B will be less than or equal to A? Let's consider an example. 1, 2 is belonging to R. क्योंकि 1 less than 2 है. We said either less or equal. 1 is less than 2. So I write less than. So is 2 less than or equal to 1? ऐसा है. Because the relation less than equal to है, तो let me write less than equal to. Is this correct? No, obviously not. 2 is not less than 1. 2 is not equal to 1. So this is not correct. It is not symmetric. हाँ, पर less than or equal to कैसा है? Antisymmetric है. One more we studied, that was transitive. So let's see if this is transitive. So for transitive, we have A less than or equal to B, B less than or equal to C is given. In other words, I already know that AB and BC belongs to R. So from the relation we have this and B less than or equal to C. So for real numbers, we know कि अगर A less than B है, B less than C है, तो A will be less than C or less than or equal to in this case. So it is transitive. So less than or equal to is reflexive. Not symmetric. It is not symmetric. It is transitive. And of course it is anti-symmetric. Okay, so we saw the different type of relations. Now this is one question for you to solve. Solve the sum and put your answer in the comment box. The next video will be for the questions based on equivalence relation from the NCERT textbook. See you in the next video.